What's up, guys? NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another MFL video, where today we're going to catch up on the last 4 days of everything. Of course, half of those days were just training because we was in the mid-season, hence the reason no videos. But I did catch some packs from the pack drop, including some very nice players as well. I have improved some of my favorite teams in the agency, and we've had a whole bunch of tier breakers too. Now, if you guys are enjoying the content here on the channel, please feel free to like the video, comment down below if you opened a pack what your best player was from the pack pools, and of course subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get involved in MFL for a new club, now's maybe not the best time. If you want to get an established club, you can get involved immediately. But if you did want to get involved now and get prepared for season 6, which, do you know what, it's coming around fast, use the link here on the screen right now or in the pinned comment or description down below. And upon completing the objective of spending $25 or more on packs, you'll get yourself a free player, which obviously would be very nice and a very good way to start your journey. And I think I'm really excited, actually, about us becoming, or not becoming, getting towards the end of the season, because I'm very, very, very eager to see how some of my experiments or theories have developed. It's a really interesting concept with the way MFL works, because 6 weeks for a season is a long time, and when you're in it, it goes fast. And here we are now, as you can see, on the 18th of May. The end of the season is around here, June 1st. You know, the new season hasn't been announced yet, but we've literally got next week as a full week, and then half of the week after, and we are done. And that's exciting. Sorry if you can hear my voice is croaky, my eyes are glazed, so to speak. I feel like I'm getting unwell, so always love that, but we'll push through and power through anyway. But yeah, we're getting pre-contracts, you know, next Thursday, and here we are on Sunday now. So I'm excited to see how everything goes. And as I said, guys, we're down to the business end of the season now, you know, and lots has changed. Now, as I said to you guys, I haven't shown anything for 4 days. So I think the first thing I'd like to do is showcase the training over the last 4 days, including quite a host of tier breakers and a new rare tier breaker. So if we go for 4 days and look at the overalls, Mantilla, who I got out of a pack 2 seasons ago, has finally had another little upgrade. Feels like the sort of player that isn't going to become much more than 83, 84, 85. You know, I know training is completely individual to everybody. Every path is unique, and players can absolutely boom towards the back end of the career. He's only 23 years old, but it just feels like with him that nothing changes really often at all. You know, his stats over his lifetime have barely moved, but nice to get him up there to an 82. Could actually be useful for the diamond heist going forwards, and that's something we're going to have to figure out for next season, what we do with the diamond heist. We have got Komatsu, guys, tier broken. So he's 28 years old. I believe I bought Komatsu. I must have bought him off a floaty, which I didn't do transactions on floaty. Maybe I got him in a pack. Either way, really like him. And when I get to the player, when we get to talking about Fitzgrim, who was one of the players that I got out of the packs for the first time, the best player. No, I didn't record the packs. That's not true. I did record the packs, but it just didn't work because I was share screening to the Wendirk podcast or the live stream, and I had just clicked on the wrong camera and it had taken the feed away from my recording to them, which is why I didn't make a video on me opening my packs because I'm just an idiot, basically. But Fitzgrim is a good player. I got really lucky with him for a few reasons, but he also doesn't entertain me for a few other reasons, and we'll get into that, you know, reasonably soon. What I like with players like Komatsu, that 81 defending, man, like, and I'm going to show you again some players that I've got on the MFL website. What was it called? Hold on, bear with me. Yeah, the MFL manager website. No. The MFL assistant website, some players that I've got where I'm like, these are the guys for me next season. Anyway, Komatsu has been had a tier break. Only got +1 defending, but got up to that rare option there. We got 2 goalkeepers, Karlberg and Camberaj, have upgraded. Obviously, Karlberg is playing for the K Tigers. That's not my team. And Camberaj is playing for Prestige 26, which is my team. And leaves me a little bit interesting on the goalkeeper options now for Prestige 26 as well, because I bought in a new goalkeeper this season. Where are we, squad? One of the things I really wish MFL would do one of 2 things, or both of these things. Thing number 1, just have a little tab here for notes. I just want to make notes. I just want to like note when I bought it, who I bought it from. I know it's kind of says it when you buy it, but if you buy it on Floaty, it doesn't display the sale. So a little notes tab would be nice, but also a little annotation on to whether or not you are the first player to have ever owned that player or not would be really nice. Either way, I've got a 74 rated 19-year-old goalkeeper who's 5'9". Obviously, he hasn't progressed. He's new this season. And now in Prestige 26, we've got our 22-year-old goalkeeper that's 5'11", who looks like he's about 62 years old. And he's been in the game for quite a long time. He's got a later retirement age, most likely. I did buy him, though, didn't I? For $36 I bought Cambraj for. And I'm looking at that price now, and I'm thinking to myself, do you know what? That is a banging price. And if we look at what his rough average price is, 47385. Oh, it's giving me player number 47, 47385. Got his value now at above $55 on average. But when I look at him, I think to myself, you're only 22 years old. You're in a good spot to tier break. Maybe not this season, maybe not next season, but you know, if you tier break to a 75 by the time you're 24, 25 years old, that's really nice to have him as a rare. And I think if he tier breaks, I think I could maybe sell him for $80, $90, or $100. And so it would be nice to be able to like put in the notes, like give him game time, get him assured points, get him assured like match XP, because I want to dump as much XP into him as I can as possible to be able to sell him on. And actually having that mental note of being able to sell him on would be really nice, because in this moment, I'm like, I really want to sell him. Like, it would be nice to actually buy a player, utilize him, have him grow, sell him on, use those funds to go and buy 2 or 3 or 4 players of a similar ilk that I bought him for initially, and then repeat the process again. That would be really nice. However, I know what I'm like, and in this moment, I think that, and I feel that, and I'm like, yes, that's what I want to do with this little ferret here. Yet when it comes to the start of season 6, I'll be like, I'll just throw him in this team. And that'll be it for a whole season. And I won't remember where my train of thought was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So yeah, MFL, if there was a way, maybe I should use some AI for it. I don't know. But either way, he's upgraded. Karlberg there as well. Cambraj is upgraded in there. Naroki is flying at the moment. His defending is now up to 70, physical 73. And his defending, if we look at current season for Naroki, his defending has gone up 4, as has his physical. And his passing is superb for a centre-back. His pace lacks a little bit, but he is in a very, very, very good spot. We've got O'Neill has gone up +1. Witwer has gone up +1 to a 65. So this is another tier breaker now in First Owner FC. Really happy to have him there. We've got NepentheZ has gone up to a 58. Munir has gone up to a 57. He's one of my new players. And most of the players that I've got in Evo FC Holding, which I entered into the Redemption Cup, are new players. Not all of them. There's a few exceptions. We've got Barch here, has gone up 1 to a 57, and then a few players there going up the +1s otherwise, including, I believe, there you go, Ever Montoya again progressed up to a 49. And if we look at him for the current season, he's gone up 8 overall this season with a huge boost everywhere. He is really, really good. So we've got a lot of progression. Even on the rares that haven't gone up a +1, Gegor Gita, he's gone up 1 dribbling and 1 passing. We've got Paulinho, my centre-back at LSG Tehran, has gone up 1 pace. Silverio, who's in Prestige 26, has gone up 1 pace and 1 dribbling, which I quite liked for him because his defending is so good. His passing is good. I wouldn't mind his passing to be improved a little bit more. And then we did gain Ebo. No. Hajima, that's who. Hajima went up 1 defending. He's on a tier break now. Obviously, all of these guys are. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 5 guys very close to that 75 rating. But we're picking up some progression left, right, and center on a lot of players. Look at that. Look at all that progression down here. Just really, really nice. So yeah, so in terms of the packs of what I got, let's go to the store real quick. I managed to get a rare pack from the actual release, and then I bought one on Floaty. I got 1 standard pack, 2 limited packs, and 1 kickoff pack. So I opened all of those packs, and as I say to you guys, for the most part, other than a recognizable name, everybody that I got in those packs is in this team. I put them out on for kind of like loan at what I thought was really, really reasonable prices for Spark and Dice. I had no bites, and I was like, I don't want to miss out on another training day, so I put them all into holding, and I thought, let's just see what I can build for a team. Turns out I can actually build a team for, like, it's not a great team. It's like really, really mismatch. And, you know, I don't expect to qualify from the group stage, but if I do, then brilliant. But we've got some high-rated players. You know, we've got this guy here, 53. We've got 60 at 63. Couple of 61s, but, you know, a couple of, like, lower-rated players here. So it is a bit of a mess of a team. But, hey, listen, it's a team that got put together. It works. Worst case scenario, we'll get training XP for them every day, some match XP for them for the games that they do play. And if we look at the progression for them, first of all, if we look at current season, actually, if we just look at last 4 days, there you go. So 3 of the guys that I've introduced have already gone +1. If we look at all time, you can start to see, I think, the guys that maybe have been around for a lot longer. There you go. Rab there isn't a brand new player. I think, like I say, most of the rest are. There was a few that I took out of previous clubs. We can actually see. So if we go to Prestige 26 and look at the activity feed here. So I cancelled the contract of Dimadiros. He now plays for Team Sweat, that is sweaty because he's way too good for it. But yeah, he now plays for Team Sweat. I signed Stamenkovic, who was one of the new players that we picked up. I really like him. And the reason why I really like him, if you haven't been able to tell with the way that I want to kind of build my squads going forwards for next season, is because he's a 79 rated, but has got 87 passing. For a centre midfielder, I don't really care about physical too much, pace too much, defending too much. His dribbling is as good as his rating. His shooting is okay. His passing is brilliant. Not too bad in terms of the age. Obviously, you know, especially when you get the rares out of the rare packs, like you really want the younger players as much as you can. But we got him signed into the team. We signed Georges, so to replace the left back that we dropped, Georges has come in here. And yeah, not actually a great card for what I was looking for, because I want that high defending. Now he is very well rounded, but I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I don't know if it's just bias. I don't know if it's me kind of like looking for things that maybe don't exist. But I personally think that I would rather a 77 rated left back with like 85 defending and lower stats elsewhere than a well-rounded left back. However, Georges still went into the team because I think he was still better than Dimadiros. Yeah, if we compare him, if we go onto the radar there and compare with Georges here, you know, Georges has got slightly more pace, slightly more dribbling, slightly more passing, slightly more shooting, same physical, and then honestly, like marginally more defending. And when I look at Dimadiros as a 69 versus Georges as a 77, I look at these two cards and I think, for what I want them for, +6 overall rating for a bit of extra dribbling and passing, I don't know if I care that much. As it happened, though, I put Georges in there. So that was quite nice to have him. And then we signed Durdevic last season. So I only introduced 2 new players to this team for Georges and Stamenkovic, and I got rid of Dimadiros. And so the results, however, over the last couple of days, we played Guayaquil and Kamikaze Koalas, two very strong teams. But if we look here now at the projections website and go and find Prestige 26, as the form would have it, as the projections now would have it, I am now the top ranked team in kind of all metrics. I've got the best 11 average, I've got the best 16 average, I've got the best in-game 11 average, and I've got the best manager, MFL manager rating average by almost 1 point. And so Barra Azteca, Tehran, Isotopes, and Constanta Europe are also very strong there, but I'm just a little bit better. And off the back of that, what Kamikaze Koalas? They're ranked 10th. See that draw? I'll explain that in a moment. Off the back of that, I put my strongest team out for Guayaquil FA because I wanted to win. You know, it's really important to beat them. They're a really strong team. And we ended up getting a 3-1 win there with 2.33 XG to his 0.9. Tajima with a goal, Blixt with a goal, and Durdevich with a goal. And then outside of that, we got a 1-1 draw with the Kamikaze Koalas. And that is because we are playing MUC 72 next. So if we look for club MUC 72 and get a hold of what their sort of information is, they're a 75.77 MMR, and we're a 75.6 something. So it's an incredibly tight game. They're in the Iron League, which obviously is above me where I'm at in Stone. So this is a really tough game that's happening today at 5 p.m. And so I really needed to make sure that my best 11 was perfectly fit, no problems at all for this. So I switched into the 4-1-3-2, which allows me to put Staminkovic in over Blix at cam. I was a bit unlucky to not win the game, if we're being honest. Beckman did score in the 89th minute to tie things up. But as you can see here, 17 total shots, only 3 on target. And it's one of those instances, again, where I look at the stats and I just think to myself, if I had strikers, like let's have a look at the match report here and look at my attack and look at just my players. Beckman had 1 shot on target from 4. Durdevich had only 2 shots on target from 8. And when you look at their shooting, 77 shooting for an 80 cam, and Beckman's got 81 shooting for a 75 striker. He's actually okay for his shooting. If I had players here with like 83, 84, 85 shooting, I just feel like I win the game, even with my weaker team. But I put this team out. We in theory should have won the game. I coached the win, let's say, more XG, bit more possession, way more shots. But I put all of my weak players in because I feel good in the league, to the point where I think that even if I take an L here or there whilst prioritizing the cup, I still feel like I can win the league. After 13 games, myself and Tehran Isotopes are on 26 points. We've got Barra Azteca on 25, Kamikaze Koalas and Constanta Europa on 24. Then it kind of breaks down a little bit. There's a 3-point gap to Dequito, Guayaquil even 6 points further behind, and they've got a really strong team to be in this like relegation battle here. But my next match, as you can see here, is against Deportista de Quito. And it's, again, one of those ones where I feel like my second team can do a job there, and hopefully they will. But I definitely wanted to make sure that the squad was fully prepared for, as like the best team was fully prepared for for the upcoming cup game. So I'll sort my tactics out and stuff off video. And so Prestige 26 got some changes. First Owner FC also picked up a couple of new players. Obviously, I was hoping to get promotion with this team, and it's still on the cards. It's still a possibility. But Crying Chickens and LeChuck's Revenge are still by far and away the best 2 teams available, or the best 2 teams in the league. So I'm kind of like fighting for that 3rd place spot. And you can see here, we signed H. Witwer, who's already progressed a little bit. He's tier broken, actually. So I must have, I picked him up. I got him out of a pack as a 64 rated limited, and he tier broke straight away, which is honestly phenomenal. for the way like tier break usually takes a lot of time. So he's a right back, left back, and centre back with reasonable stats, good physical, like nice defending, and that's where he's gone up +2 as well. So I really appreciate that defending boost on him and the fact that he can play across the back line anywhere. I cancelled the contract of PlayMFL and I signed Velasco as well, a 69 rated left back with really good pace and passing. And again, decent defending, nothing too crazy. He's 25 years old and Witwa was 25 years old as well. So we signed Velasco and we cancelled the contract of Heredia. And who else did I cancel the contract of? Oh, no, Whitwer is who I cancelled the contract of that I didn't mean to. And so we brought him back in. We signed Sekaira, who, if I remember correctly, come from Prestige 26 down. Yeah, he came from Prestige 26 down to first owner. Oh no, that's the other Sekaira that I've got. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, this is I wish there was a transfer center. Do you know what I mean? From MFL where I could be like, okay, these are the guys that I sold or moved on, and these are the guys that I brought in. But Heredia came from FC Evo FC first owner, where he'd only played 4 games throughout the whole time, and then he got moved into FC Holding, and that was because we signed a new player there. Giles got dropped and signed by mistake or something, I think. Yeah, Sekaira is from April the 24th. Either way, I improved first owner FC as a smidge, and then I went and took a 4-1 loss to Medanium, who are 8th in the table, but I believe got a big boost during the transfer window, because I didn't just lose to them 4-1. I kind of got like battered by them. And do you know what? The MMR is like reasonably similar. They're only a few spots away. And I always try and think about how not all the players that are rated the same are the same. Like, they smashed me, which is really surprising to see their kind of results otherwise. Yeah, I don't know. I just took a beating. Wow, he only has 49 shooting. That's crazy. I just took a beating there. And so I ultimately, like, Prestige first owner, Team Sweat, all got some upgrades. And, you know, Team Sweat now, if I'm not the best team by quite a distance, I would be quite surprised. I feel like my team's the best team. Okay, so actually Brandana MFC are also there, but then after that, like, the strength of this league is poor. You know, Valencia FC are almost 4 points behind us. Crystal Port, who beat us during the season so far, are in the under 60. Slovenia are even lower. And then from Newmarket down, it's like there is such a discrepancy between myself and those teams. But other than, you know, a couple of games here or there, I don't expect to have difficult games. And so, although Brandana MFC haven't lost, we find ourselves top of the table after 13 games, which is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, 2-point gap to Crystal Port. But then, after I just got the 4-0 win over RSA, I've got an 8-point gap now to 4th place. So playoffs is getting very, 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 very close. And the reason why it's getting very close is obviously because we're 13 games in now. There's only 9 games left of this season in the league. And so, yeah, with an 8-point gap, it's like every win that I pick up just puts me a little bit closer to that guaranteed playoff spots, which is nice. But my next game is against Brandana MFC. And I don't mind that, because I don't mind getting them out of the way and just knowing that result early days. And then Crystal Port are one of the last games that I've got. But Newmarket Town and Aries are my last 2 games. So I can effectively guarantee 6 points there. Tough game there. Tough game. Valencia down in the table. 3 points there. I'd expect 3 points there and there. I'd expect 3 points there. And so it's just this kind of a Brandana MFC that's going to be a tough game. And then we've got Zarkoza MFC in the cup today. Let's see what's my MMR? 63.75. Zarkoza 62.43. So they're in the Ice League as well. Down in the I'm in Spark with Team Sweat FC. But yeah, they're in the Ice League down at 62.43. So I've got a potential chance there of taking a win, which would be nice. I've got quite a lot of cup games today, actually, which is nice. to kind of like look at the schedule coming up and just be like, yeah, nice. Like, I think, was it 7 games? Oh, 8, 9 games. So we've got, what are we in? Up tier 103 twice. I want to look at that one because I want to see if I'm due to play myself at all. The Redemption Cup tier 1. Oh, that's why I've got an extra team, because I entered into the Redemption Cup. The Rivals Cup tier 7 with Prestige 26. This is obviously the one I really want to win. And then, yeah, First Owner FC in tier 24. Club 135, which is your guys' club, in tier 47. And then Team Sweat as well. So First Owner, Team Sweat, Spark to Glory, Hack to Glory, Prestige 26, and Holding. Those 6 clubs, I really think we can do well in there. As for this club here, so where are we? So I've got... okay, so they've made it. That's really interesting, isn't it? I don't know if this is by design. I presume it probably is. But Evo FC Tunis Ice Farm is here. I didn't expect to get out of the group with Tunis Ice Farm, so I don't expect to get far in the cup at all. I expect to lose straight away. But if Pack to Glory goes all the way to the final, they can only meet Tunis Ice Farm in the final. And I suppose at that point, there's no jeopardy really, is there, with throwing a game or anything, unless you had like players on loan where you're like, oh, let me throw it for the team that's got the lowest rev share so that I can get more for myself. But that is probably an eventuality that we'll never have to consider. And so just to give a little breakdown, guys, of where we are in the leagues again now. I don't want to keep you guys for too long today. I want to show you the other players that we picked up in a moment. Evo FC under 21 are 7th place right now. And let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. If I just type into the club Evo, it should... let me type in Evo FC, actually. There we go. So Evo FC under 21, in terms of projections, we are projected rock bottom. We have the worst team. 12th team, we have the worst team by distance. And yet, here we are in 7th place. This is so good. This is so nice. Like, honestly, it feels really, really good. The fact that we're above 5 teams when we are ranked rock bottom, it is very nice. For the MFL experiment, obviously, this one is about spending the MFL. If I can open these up on a different page, I can't. That's really annoying, isn't it? So the MFL experiment, we're projected 8th, and we are currently 5th. It is close down here. It is close. And we drew the last game as well against Liga Pisa, who are below us right there. But yeah, we drew against a team that's a little bit better than us. Here's the thing with like the players, not, you know, with not everything being the way it seems of overalls and tactics making a difference. Like, I'm not that far off of 5th in terms of overall quality. I'm way ahead in terms of like, you know, 10th and 11th. So we're in a good spot there though, guys. And if we can finish 5th with the MFL experiment, I will be delighted with that. We've got the cost experiment. We are currently 11th out of 11. We're exactly where we should be. You know, I think the cost experiment is one of those teams that I've got that is way, way, way down the bottom. Where are we? The cost experiment. There we go. I think the projection, yeah, I mean, I'm the worst team by some distance, to the point where even getting a win is an achievement. We're out of the cup with the cost experiment as well, aren't we? Yeah, we needed to win that last game to get there. The agency is up in 8th. Find the agency. They're projected. Nope, that's the cost experiment. Never mind. They're projected 8th. It's quite strong here for these top teams. It's quite a competitive league. You know, the bottom end is really, really weak. Who have I got next? I've got Casanjo. Oh, they're one of the better teams, aren't they? Oh, no, that's not me that's got them. Oh, it is me. Sanjo DK. Am I being brain dead? Oh, they're right above me. There you go. Oh, this is a proper 6-pointer. They're up in 4th place, though. That's mad. However, We got 18 points, 6 wins, 7 losses. Decent there for the agency, decent. Team Sweat, we are starting to really come good now for Team Sweat. And yeah, we looked at those. We looked at this already, this league already. We are top of the table here and we're in the cup. All things firing for Team Sweat. Would love that promotion there. The Spark to Glory, this team is up in 5th right now. And I honestly don't think we're ranked that high. I might be wrong. Because I have made some. Oh, we're ranked 4th now, and that is because I made some changes to this team. I added some new players in, so we've improved across the course of the transfer window. We're still well off of those top 3: Santa Cruz, Palmer, and Hey again. What are they called? Hey Eagle FN. But yeah, I think finishing 4th is where we should be come the end of it. And it's the Hong Kong Kings that are overperforming, and they're the team that are like close to me. So we've got a cup game coming soon, but we've got some easy wins coming up as well with Rustavi and the Serang Tigers 10th and 11th next. So picking up 6 points there puts me to 25. Palmer are running away with this league, but if I can get a few wins here, maybe we get a win against Hey Eagle FN, sorry. And then we've got Hong Kong Kings. Oof. Those 2 games, that's going to be almost deciding the league, right? Because we only played 20 games in this league. So after 14 games, I should, in theory, be on 25 points. If I can get wins against Hey Eagle FN and Hong Kong Kings, I could honestly see myself comfortably 3rd, potentially 2nd. And Spark to Glory might find itself in a promotion battle, which would be very, very nice. We've got Pack to Glory. I think they're rock bottom. They're basically bottom. But again, they're the worst team by some considerable distance. I don't even need to look for those. And then Holding are in the cup. The Golden Oldies, love this team. Absolutely love this team. I don't know why. They are overperforming a little bit. I don't think it's as much as it was at certain parts of the season, because obviously I must have just had some like really favorable like runs of form. We're projected 10th. We're marginally below Biahar and Lumon there, who are the 2 teams below us. But I also wonder if, after getting a win against Nexus Newport, I wonder if I've had my favourable matches again now, and I might be in a position where I end up taking some L's over time. But we're up in 8th, even though we were projected 10th. Can't be mad at that. We're also only a small number of points. Well, we're 5 points away from 6th, which is quite a lot. We're only 1 point away from Spurs Alona. And yeah, we've opened up a 4-point gap to 10th. So the higher we can do here, the better. Would love the Golden Oldies to bring in a mid-table finish. That would be absolutely fantastic. We've got Club 135. Of course, this is your guys' club. We just don't lose with this team, right? We're only 2 points clear at the top of the table, 4 points clear of Lyon. But we're 8 points clear now of FC Kanu, who we beat 2-0. And so, again, going for that promotion, even just finishing in the playoffs promotion spots, we're in a really strong spot. We've got the cup game today at 4:10, and then we've got Bangalore Nest, who are the team below us. A win there will guarantee us a 4-point lead over Lyon in 2nd place as a guaranteed. Obviously, it will also put us 5 points clear of Bangalore Nest FC, which would be very, very good. Yeah, this one's looking like we're going to get promoted. We're in a good spot there. The Club 135 is doing all right. The Tunis Ice Farm is as expected. Rock bottom, just a draw, but still in the cup, which is nice. Oh, I didn't even see I'm pretty sure I lost this 7-0. Why is it asking me to watch the replay? Pretty sure this one finished 7-0. 5-0 maybe. I'm still pretty sure it finished 7-0. Oh no, 5-0. I watched this game. Must have been something going wrong there. I don't know. Yeah, we got what we expect from this. We are still in the cup, which is delightful for the Ice Farm. For Road to Glory, this one here is, as I say, I think I expected a bit more from this team. This team in general, we're ranked 4th, but we're so close to 2nd and 3rd. It's just Extreme 7 that's like leading the way. We have got it together recently, but I still just don't feel like I'm getting out of this team what I should be, which is weird given the fact that we've got a 6-0 win, a 2-1 win against 5th place, a 1-1 draw with the Wild Seagulls in the cup, which we're out of now, which is a bit frustrating. I suppose we can focus on the league, which is quite nice. It is tight here. Extreme 7 Academy are comfortable at the top of the table. Then King's Academy and below are kind of out of the water. But, you know, even though Chow there are only on 25 points, they got some potential, and then it's tight outside of that. So maybe they're doing a bit better than I thought. Neuchâtel Ice Farm, guys, of course, are rock bottom. Wow, I'm not rock bottom. Is that a 3-0 win? Oh, I actually got a 3-1 win against Equipo de Presos. Very nice indeed. Didn't expect that to happen whatsoever. That's quite nice. And then we've got, First Owner FC, where this team I expect more out of, but we're there. We're there or thereabouts. And Prestige 26 the same, and Diamond Heist, of course, are fully out. Now, something that was interesting yesterday, before I do get into the players, guys, is I got a free victory, a free 3-0 win against a team here. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh, I got 3-0, a free win. Nice. Whose team is it? It's Haver's team. I'm not quite sure what his plans are or were, but he's got like 10 players, 11 players on his team, and then has lost, or hasn't actually played a game. He's just lost every game 3-0. So quite interesting. Hopefully, let's do current season here. Wow, he doesn't have much progression on these players. I suppose because they're not playing, they're just getting training XP. But yeah, Haver's got a team there where we got that nice 3-0 win, which was quite good. Now, in terms of my HQ in general, guys, well, my throat's actually getting sore now, so I'm going to wrap up here pretty quickly. And the players that we picked up. So Fitzgrim, I got out of a pack. I had 4 people reach out to me straight away and ask if they could buy him off of me. And I think, even though I don't think he's the sort of player that I would personally like, you know, an 84 rated right mid with 87 passing and dribbling, it's just not exceptional compared to his overall value, right? He's got decent defending and physical and decent shooting. And I think that's why other people like him, because I've heard from quite a few people that for those that play 3 at the back, right mid and left mid, having good defending is like key to making the formation work. And he's got really good defending for an 84 rated. I think the reason why a few people might have been interested in him as well is because he is guaranteed a tier break, right? Every player is guaranteed a +1, so he will become a legendary eventually. I also like the fact that he is only 23 years old. What I do like about Fitzgrim is, as he progresses, if one particular stat progresses high, we're in good space, right? If passing goes up to 90, 91, or shooting pushes up into the mid-80s, he is a striker as a secondary position. Not a great position for him because he only has 78 shooting, but, you know, he could do well there. But as a right mid, if that passing and dribbling push up into the 90s, he could be a really dangerous player. The thing that I personally dislike kind of the most about this player is because pace has no bearing on overall rating, the fact that he only got 73 pace is really disappointing. Like, if that was like 85 pace or 87 pace, he would still be an 84 rated. It wouldn't change anything whatsoever. If that was 80, you know, in the mid-80s for pace, I'd be sitting here like, oh my days, I've got an absolute banger. But I just don't find him to be, I don't look at that card and think, wow, he's really special, which is a bit disappointing, but that's where it is. We also got from a pack the Stamenkovic, who has got way better passing compared to his rating. We've already gone through him. And then I think that was it from the rares. No, I got one more rare. George's, the left back, was the other rare that I managed to pick up. Which again is he's a decent player, 26 years old, but not. I just wasn't blown away. He's well rounded again, but I just wasn't blown away. And then for some of the other players that we got, I can't, like, they were underwhelming enough to the point where I just can't remember who they were. Might have been Velasco here. Yeah, I think he was one of the players. And what was really nice about the pack drop that I got this time around, though, is that actually the ages of most of the players were really good. So if we go to Holding FC here, most of these guys are the new players, especially these lower rated ones. And we did get a few like decent. There was one specific. I think this kid here, not him, maybe him. He's got really poor shooting, but he's got really good pace dribbling. For the rating that he is. But I can't remember who it was. Was it Chen? Yeah, it might have been Chen. He's brand new, right? Yeah. So it was Chen. So what I like about Chen is for a 60 rate striker, he's got 66 shooting. And so he's 23 years old also. And that was like one of the best things for me with regards to the packs that I got this time around. Was quite literally like nobody came out at like 28, 29 years old or 28, 27 years old. I think Griffin here might not be. Yeah, see, Griffin's been in the game for ages. Everybody that I got was like 25. I think there was a couple of 26s, a few 25s, but then 24s, 23s, and a few teenagers. So it wasn't too bad in terms of the pack drop. But I think for my agency now, I think I'm going to be focusing now on actually just curating this agency, building out some teams for next season, and focusing on actually kind of bagging MFL now, and doing my best, I think, to just hold some MFL. Obviously, outside of the experiment teams where I've got to spend the MFL, I think I might start just holding for a little while. And, you know, I get very, very tempted by the rare player pack because obviously if you hit like a 82, 83, 84 and they turn legendary, you're eating. But also at the same time, if you get those 75, 76, 77s, you're just going to be livid. Like, it's just not worth it. However, on the flip side, down at that common end, the more common players you get, obviously, the more teams you can build, the more MFL you can pick up. It's just the kind of like admin work for that is really quite strenuous. And so I'm gonna have to like crunch some numbers and see how much MFL I earn this season and see what to do with it. Because if I earn enough to the point where I've got like 40 or 50,000 and I can just save for some rare player packs, open those rare player packs. And then one thing I've got to be conscious of, and this is where I haven't really paid attention to my decent teams. And this, like, you know, my low rated teams, my Spark teams, even some of my Ice teams, they'll always be fine. Because worst case scenario, I can just keep replenishing the players with the common packs, or I could just buy like $10, $20 players to put in those teams. But for the teams that I've got, for example, like Prestige 26, these players won't last forever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm eventually going to have to replace these players. And so saving up the MFL to get those rare packs to continually build into my own teams might be the play. Might be the play. As I said, I'm going to have to crunch some numbers. For today, though, guys, that is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rate, and comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.